Here we go, guys. Can you believe it? It's month number 21 of our craft club. It's all about these super cute characters. Shall we delve in and have a look as to see what you're going to get? Now, you are going to be getting, of course, your divider. It tells you everything that you're going to be getting inside. You want to see what's inside, so let's do that. You're going to be getting all of these components to make these cute characters. Now, you are going to be getting the booklet, of course. Now, the booklet is going to give you 8 characters. Now, it's even giving you a key of the dies. All of the dies represents a part of the animal. Then as we start to go along, you're going to see the bears, the dragons. You've then got things such as the koala. You've got 8 in total, plus you've got your notes at the back. Then what we're going to be giving you is all of the dies. 47 dies in total here. These are what we're going to make all of the different cute animals and the cute characters. We are giving you your sentiment stamps here, which is giving you 6 of them. We are even giving you 2 sheets of your 3D foam pads that enable you to create that height and that dimension. And then talk about a wodge of colour cardstock. You're getting 8 by 8 colour card, 44 sheets in total. All of these are going to enable you to do all of these cute characters. You can add dimension when it comes to the foam pads. You could add colour, you could add ink, you can add whatever you want to create extra dimension when it comes to, of course, the cute characters. One of the projects that you're going to be able to make is this elephant card. And if you want to see how you can be making this elephant card, then stay tuned. Now, when it comes to the craft club, this is of course month number 21 and it's all about the cute characters. You could be making cards such as that one. Now look at that, super cute, using those dies to create that elephant. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create the elephant and then you can be creating the card afterwards. So let's get started. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the booklet here. Now the booklet here is giving us number 8, the elephant. It happens to be on page number 28. Now it gives you the steps, gives you the pictures as well as the written, and also it gives you that finishing element of the card. Shows you the dies that you need and even the cardstock colours that you're going to need as well. So what I've got here is I've got some of the papers. Now of course you're not going to need the full A4 or the full 8 by 8. We can just use little bits. Now this is going to be my key colour with the elephant, and then I've got all the additional little bits as well that we can then add on for the centre of the elephant as well as the detail for the eyes. Now let's bring these ones in here. So these are all of the dies you're going to need to create the elephant that shows you within that little booklet. So what I'm going to do here is, you can see I don't need all of that 8 by 8. Now all of this is going to be your elephant within the grey, apart from the face. So I'm just going to then take my scissors. Because we don't need all of that, we're just going to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. We're just going to then chop that up, and then what we can do is then let's lay these back on. We can then of course come along with our low tack tape, and with this one here, it's actually going to be kind of like the foot. We're going to do that one twice. So we're just going to then get that into place just so that we are not kind of wasting any card. And I also need this larger circle, which is going to be for the body. So let's just get them into place. We're going to take our low tack tape and we're just going to tape it down. Now with these, once you've cut them, once you've then added that bit of colour, should you want to add colour, what you're going to be able to do is build them up. Now you can either do it flat or you can do it with the foam pads included, or of course if you want, what you can also then do is then come along and use your glue gel. Entirely up to yourself. So when we come to build this elephant, we are going to be making of course it with the foam pads. Now we're going to then of course go with the mouth that's going to be pink, and then the eyes and the eyelids are going to be black. So what I'm going to do is do this one twice, but of course the second time we'll do it in the pink for the mouth. So let's get our plates in here. Now, if you happen to have our Gemini Mini, this is going to fit within the Gemini Mini, but let's do these ones first. So I'm going to use the full plate configuration for the Gemini. So that is, of course, our base plate. It's our frosted shim, magnetic shim, and then the top plate, we're going to let that do the cutting. Now, what you can then also do is you can come along with the embossing mat with the Gemini and then emboss the detail. But what I'm going to do, you can see how that is beautifully cut there. I'm actually going to bring in one of our scoring tools. So if you are using your Gemini Mini, you will know that there's not an embossing mat with that. So what we're going to do is let's just take these little bits out here, including the ears, including the trunk. Before we cut these additional bits, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slot that back in, turn that over, and then my little scoring tool, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push through the detail. So this enables you to be able to still get that embossed detail without the aid of an embossing mat. So you've still got the detail there. I know it's a little bit harder to see. Close up, you'll see it a lot easier. And then we can do exactly the same for all of the additional die cuts. So we're just going to slot them back into place. Once they are in place, turn them around, hold them down, and then with your ball tool or your scoring tool, just push through, and then you're going to get that really lovely deeper emboss. So I've got all of these cut ready, but we will still do all the main cutting and a little bit of colouring for you to see. So same with inside the ears, give it a nice little scribble in there. What that's going to do is pop when it comes to the centre detail of the elephant ear. And then I'm going to do this one as well. Really, really easy. Slot it back in, sit it in, and then essentially all we're doing is we're just drawing in the centre. So that is these main ones when it comes to, of course, the grey. Now, as I said before, when it comes to the actual foot of the elephant, we do need to do that one again. So we're going to keep that one out. I've got all of these bits here that I can sit ready, take them in, bring back in our plates here. So we can go in what's going to be the body. We can even just chop that up a little bit more. I'm then going to take just a little bit of this grey for the foot. That one can go there. And then let's bring in the black. We're going to frosted, magnetic, top plate, line up, run that one through. While that's running through, I can just get these little bits all lined up. And then once this one comes out, we're going to pop out the actual die cuts, and then we'll do that last one when it comes to the mouth. So let's take that one. You can do the embossing yourself at home. And then with these ones, what you want to do is just be careful because you've got teeny tiny little detail. So I'm just going to pop them onto the side here. We're going to then open up, take that away. And then what we can then also do is just tap that out. That's then going to release the little bits. So there's that one. And then there is that one as well. And then last but by no means least, let's go in with the pink, which is going to be for the mouth. So there's the mouth there, but in black. So I don't need that. So let's discard that. Just a little bit of pink. What we're then going to do is run that through one last time. That's going to be all of those components all cut nicely, ready for us to build. Remember, you've got that key at the front of the booklet as well. If you need to remind yourself as to what dies what, you've got the key for it. And then let's take that one out. And then for this one, it's just the mouth. I don't need the pink for anything else. Now, of course, you can keep them for future cuts, but I'm just going to pop them to the side. So that has us got all of the die cut elements ready for us to start to assemble. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little bit of anthracite grey, water reactive. And the reason that I'm doing that is because you've got all of that debossed detail. So what's lovely is you can use these as stencils. So I can pop that back into place. I can then come along with that grey, and of course I'm coming in with my blending tool. You can tape it down if you want. I'm just going to hold, and then I'm just going to tap round the edges here, all the way around, and then you're just going to give your metal die a little bit of a wash afterwards. Lukewarm water, maybe a baby wipe, and then we can then blend all of that out. If I then release that out, you've got that deep detail within the center there. We can do that once more within the other ear. So we're just going to align that one up, get that into place, and then we're just going to do the same again. So let's take some of that grey around, and I'm just touching the edges. I'm not going all the way round into the center. We're just touching the edges. You can make it as deep or as light as you want. Let's blend that one out. We're starting to then get the detail within the ears. What you can then also do is then start to even just come along, and then you can just ink the edges ever so lightly, still adding that little bit of depth and roundness when it comes to the blending tool with the ink pad, which happens to be anthracite. And then we can then keep on going. You can start to add all of the detail that you want, and then what we're going to be left with are these ones here. So I've got all of these ready to go on a little bit of paper that you can see. So these I can save for future use. So I'm going to pop them to the side, and then what we can start to do here is we can start to build up our elephant. Now within that guide that you've got, of course, you can start to follow along. So you have each of the steps starts to show you the different ways and the different order of starting to build it up. So let's go in with our foam pads here. So we are going to start off with the base. Let's go in with the feet, and then we're going to go in with the foam pads. Now I know this isn't a pokey tool, but it's a good little tool just to pick up when it comes to nudging the foam pads. So I'm going to take them, and then we're going to then just press them in. We're going to then release, and then what we're going to do with the aid of our tool, let's go in and sit that one down. We're going to lift the next one. We're going to then pop the foam pads on there, and then we're going to then release them, pop that off, use that into place. And you can have fun with the positioning of where you're popping them. I'm going to then come in now with the body, that center body, and I'm going to use the glue for this one. You can add foam pads if you want, but we're going to go flat with this one, and then we're going to set that into place just here. We're going to maneuver that till we're happy with it, and then we can start to build up the face of the elephant. So I'm going to do that separate. So let's come in with what's going to be the head of the elephant. We're going to come in with what's going to be the ears. So this I'm going to add within glue. So I'm going to come round the sides here with a little bit of glue. You can use your tape runner if you want to, but I find the glue is easier. We're going to hold and we're going to pinch. We're going to then go into the next side. We're going to hold, and then we're going to pinch. And you can have the ears a little bit closer in, further out. You can have them at a different angle. This is where you can start to have lots and lots of fun. So I'm now going to come in with the trunk. So I'm going to add my foam pads on, but I'm not going to stick it down just yet, because I want to get the positioning of the eyes and also of the mouth in the right place. So if I were to sit that in here. So with this one, I'm going to bring the eyebrows. We're going to go in with the eyes, and we're going to go in with the mouth. And then what we're going to do is let's go in. So if I was to have the trunk round about here, a little bit further down into there. Yeah, happy with that. I'm going to nudge that in. I personally do like to pop the actual trunk on first without the foam pads so that I can get a good visual. Now I'm going to go in with the opposite end, so that wax end. Don't forget, you'll have got that within Craft Club with all the crystal dots and all of the Touches Sparkle dots as well. So I'm then going to just maneuver the eyes in. we're going to go back in with our glue, just a tiny, tiny little slither. I'm going to pick up that eyebrow. I'm going to get it on first, and then we can then start to nudge that into place, like so. And then I am happy with that. And this is where, depending on the positioning of the eyes, again, as I said before, you can really start to have fun. Make it look angry, make it look sad, make it look happy. But let's bring in the back of our foam pads by taking them off. So I do recommend build the body, then build the head, and then stick it on afterwards. And then we're going to then come along with that last bit of being the mouth. That's going to go just underneath the trunk. We're going to go in with our pickup tool. We're going to nudge that one in, like so. Let's just do a little bit more of the nudge in there, so you're happy with the way that it is. Let's press that down, and then last but by no means least, we're going to then come along and sit the elephant in place. So let's take my glue for this one. So I'm just going to go towards the bottom of the mouth, and then I'm going to go towards the top, and then you can go at an angle, different sides, a little bit further down, but we want to make it look kind of at a bit of an angle. So let's go there. So if it's tilting its head around the corner, we're just going to then press, let that grab, and then there we go. We have our super, super cute, look at that elephant, just from a few dies, a couple of colours of cards, and then you can come along and then add it to all of your fancy card shapes, all your different card blanks. You could use your own papers, you can use your own colour card. We've added that sentiment as well. You've got 6 within the set there, and that's one of the projects that you could be making from Craft Club, month number 21, and it's all about the cute characters. Now with our Craft Club, month number 21, all about the cute characters. There is 8 that you can make, and what about that one? Look at the dragon. That is what we're going to be making next. So I'm going to show you how you can make the dragon, and then you can come along and you can make that whole card. So let's get started. Now, let's go in with our booklet. So the details for the dragon, it's on page number 10, and then don't forget, you do have the guide right at the start, numbering all of the dies. You've got the pictures, you've got the written, and of course you're going to have this video as well. So you're going to take the cardstock that you need. Now, of course, you don't need all of the 8x8, so I've just chopped it down to the sizes that I'm going to need, and I have looked out all of the dies as well that we're going to be using. So let me move that one out of the way for now. So when it comes to these ones and cutting these ones, I'm going to use my junior plates. These will fit within the Gemini Mini. And what I'm going to do is all the ones that's kind of like this key green colour, let's go and start to layer these up. So we've got the body, we've then got the feet, we're then going to come along with kind of, it's like their little horns or little antlers or whatever you want to call them when it comes to being little dragons. So I'm going to pop that there, and then we're going to bring in the tail as well. So I'm going to pop them ones within the green one. That one is going to go there. So we've got that plum, we've got the pink. We're then going to do the little nostrils. That's going to be this deeper card. The eyes and the mouth is going to be the black. The face is going to be this green card. The body is going to be this yellow card. And then for these ones, being the wings of the dragon, let's go in with that deeper green. So that's all of the main ones. So I'm going to then just start to position them in, and then I'm going to tape them down with my low tack tape. You can of course be more sparing and not waste any cardstock. And the thing is with these ones is once you have used all of your card up, a lot of the characters, out the 8 of them, are really nice kind of key standard colours that you would have within your crafty stash. So you'll be able to use up all of your linen cardstock, your Centura Peril cardstock, all of those cards that you've got at home, you're going to be able to use up. So I'm going to go in with our base plate to start with, and I'm going to cut all of these first, and then what we can do is then we can cut all of these ones. So I'm going to then pop that on there, there, and then there. So as we then start to then run that one through our Gemini, that's of course going to do the cutting. I'm going to bring in another couple of dies that I need for the top of the dragon. So that's also going to be on the green card. Let's take these ones out. Let's move them out the way. Now I do have all of these cut because a few of them I've added a little bit of colour that I'll show you. But let's get them in a line. Best thing to do is get them cut and then just pop them in a little line down your craft table or your glass mat. And then we're going to take out the eyebrows. Let's go in as well with the mouth. We've got the eyes. Let's just pop that one out there, give it a tap for that to drop out. Same within that one there. And then we can take the last couple. So there's that one. Now be careful with these ones because these are also teeny tiny and really, really delicate. So I'm just going to pop that one out, take the wing there, and then the last one from this set, we're going to go in here, and then we're just going to pop that bit out, sit that there, and then we can come within the last set here. So once again, let's take our low tack tape, just so that they don't move, and then we're going to tape that down. So just a little bit of tape, holding each bit in, going to go in there, and of course you're going to have all of this excess card left over. We're then going to go and do frosted, magnetic, and then the top plate. So let's run these through here. Now, because a lot of these are simplistic dies as well, what about your craft foam? Bring in your craft foam, start to die cut that. You're going to have that tactile feel, you're going to have that spongy feel when it comes to the cute characters. So now we've got all of these perfectly cut that we are ready to start building. So you can see here, all of these are the main components for you to then cut to build up your dragon. Now, if I come along with what I've already done here, and when it comes to the body, I've just gone around the edge with a little bit of Chinese red and then just a little bit of grasshopper round the edge of the other ones. And then we're going to come along with our foam pads. So all of these I'm going to be able to keep in a little cello bag and use for future projects. And then we can start to move these on to our glass mat. You'll see that I've just got all of these holding down for the time being with a little bit of masking tape. And then I'm going to come along with both my foam pads and also my tacky glue. You can use your tape runner, but for me, I would highly recommend your tacky glue. That's going to be a great one for you to use. So let's start within the body, and then we're going to go into, of course, its belly. So that one, let's keep it flat. Can add it on foam pads if you want, but we're going to keep it nice and flat. We're going to go into the center. Think of what you could be doing as well. Embossing folders. If you've got any kind of lizard effect embossing folders, that would be good to go into the base there. Maybe any scales of the body, of course, your reptiles, use that for the body. That would look fab. But then we're going to go in to what's going to be the feet. So these ones we are going to be adding our foam pads. So I'm going to go in with my pickup tool. Now I know it's not necessarily a pickup tool, but if you don't have a pickup tool, but you will have one of these from one of the last editions of our craft club, which was all about the touch of sparkle, then why not use that? So let's press them in using the foam pads that you get included. We're going to take the back off. So I'm just going to then press that down, hold that in, and then I do also like to use that point to then maneuver it in. I'm going to go at a little bit of an angle. Let's take the next one. So peel these ones off, and then we're going to go into the side here. There we go. press that down, make that nice and secure. Then before we start on the head and the face, let's go in with the wings. So I'm going to go on the left-hand side and we're going to add a little bit of glue. So I'm going to come and press that one in there. If you want to use the face as a little bit of a guide, you can do, but I'm quite happy with the positioning. We're going to go in with the right-hand one with a tiny bit of glue, and then we're going to then position that one into place. And what kiddie, the grandchildren, nieces, nephews, wouldn't love crafting with you when it comes to making these characters? Pop them in a little box frame, do a little bunting, make them for little cards, for party invitations. There's lots that you can do for these, not just your cards. So once we've got that one in place, we're going to then start with, of course, the face. So I'm going to, actually, before we do the face, let's add on the tail, and then that will be all of the body done. That one, we can then just pop that one just down from the edge, and I'm going to hold that, and then I just need to go back and just add that one back in. Tiny little bit of glue. Let's maneuver that in. You're going to pinch these a little bit longer than I am. Let's just hold that in. There we go. I've kind of got that parallel. Hold, grab, and then once I'm happy with that, let's set that down to the side. Now let's go in with these parts here. So that could be kind of like little tusks of a dragon. That we're going to pop to the top. Hold that in. And don't forget, you've got that instruction guide for you to follow as well as these videos. So let's pop one in, and then that one can go into here. So we're just going to pop that to the right hand side and hold that in. And then let's take my little bits here underneath my little bit of masking tape. So I'm just letting that grab, let that grab, and then I'm just going to prise these ones apart so that we've got them all in order. I'm going to use the wax end of my pickup tool. So take each bit off. So there's the mouth, and then we're going to then pop these bits. I would recommend doing this if you're die cutting them all and you're maybe a little bit scared that you're going to maybe lose them or drop them. If you've got a little bit of low tack tape, just pop them on that low tack tape. And then I'm going to go in there. Let's go in to this point, and then we're going to press that in. Let's get that one into here. Then we can then take these two. So I'm going to do a little dot, dot and dot, and then we're going to pick up these, pick up that one, add it to the side, and then we can go along with the face. So I'm going to start with the mouth, and then if we start with the mouth first, and I'm going to get that the right way, set that in. So we've got a happy, we don't want a sad, we don't want an angry dragon, we want a happy one. And then I'm going to go in with the little nostrils. So that one can go there, that one can go there. Nudge that one in like so. Look at that one, leave it like that, it's like a little alien. It's like a little alien face, look at that one, look at that. It's a bit scary, we don't want an alien. We definitely don't want an alien. Let's go with the rest. So then let's pinch that one. So let's take the eyes and then pop the eye in there. I think the reason it looks like an alien because I've maybe got them the other way. So let's, before that dries, let's give that a nice little twist around. There we go. That's better. Take those ones, maneuver them in. So I'm happy with that. We've got the eyes. And then I just need to come along now with the eyebrow. So there's one, and then there's two, so I don't need that. And then let's add that one on, and then we can add the face onto the body. And then once we're there, let's just flip that around, and then give this a nice little nudge. So we want to make it come to life. So we've got our cute dragon, like so. I'm just going to tap away those little bits of glue. And then last but by no means least, let's come along with some foam pads. And then I've got a couple here, so let's pop one on there, and then let's bring the other one in here. Let's then pop the back off. So if I peel that one, and then that one, that we can then sit into there. And then there we go. We've got our cute, super cute dragon that we've just built up, and then you can start to add it to all of your cards, all of your projects, maybe party invitations, maybe home decor. It's entirely up to yourself. But that's one of the projects that you could be making from Craft Club. It's month number 21, and it's all about the cute characters. Now when it comes to our Craft Club, this one being month number 21, all about the cute characters. Here is one. Talk about a cute character. You've got the cheeky little monkey, and you can be making all your cards and projects using that cheeky monkey. So to make that card, really lovely little 4x6 card, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the dies. So these are the dies that we're going to need. Now remember, you're going to get your guide inside your booklet. So the monkey is number 7, it's on page 24, and you've got all of the dies that you need listed in the booklet. So let's take all of these, all of the ones in the booklet ready to start cutting. So there we go, I've got them all now. So what we can then do is bring in the colour card. The booklet even tells you the coloured card that you're going to need. So let's start off with this darker brown. So we're going to go in, we're of course not going to need all of that. So I'm going to trim that down. I would get away with trimming it more, but that will do for now. So we're going to go in with the body, let's go in with the tail, let's go in with the head. We're then going to go in with these two here, which are going to be the ears. The two smaller ones are going to be the inside of the ears, and I think we're all okay for everything else. Let's take some of that flesh coloured card, and for this one it's going to be the actual face, it's going to be the middle of the body, it's going to be the inside of the ears, it's going to be the feet, and then I've also got some black, and I've also then got some of my pink as well. So this one, what we're then going to do is we're then going to be taking the face. So if I go in with, of course, the black, and then within this one here, which is actually going to be the little mouth that you can see here, and then this one we're going to pop on with that flesh colour too. So let's then start to tape all of these ones down. So I'm just going to take them all on. We can then get these cut. I've got all of them already cut and all ready to go, but let's show you how they look once you've cut them. So nicely taped down, nice and secure, so they're not going to move. I'm then going to pop that on with the black, and then that one on with the pink. So let's bring in our plate. So I'm going to go in with my junior plates. Let's cut these ones first. So if you're using our A4 plates for the Gemini 2, you can of course cut all of these dies at the same time. But let's just run that one through first of all. So these are going to do the first cuts, of course, when it comes to the Gemini 2. As that one comes out, we're going to then release these ones out of the way. Let's then prise them ones off. And then you can start to do a little bit of inking around there if you want to. I'm not going to at the moment. The ones I've already got done have got a little bit of inking that you'll see, and I used our Fryer Brown Water Reactive. So let's pop all of these out here. So I'm going to get each bit. If you've got your pokey tool, use your pokey tool, and then we can go in within that one as well. So that's all of those bits done. Let's then take the face. So I'm going to carefully prise that one off here. I've then got the mouth. I've also got one of the eye. The other one is still in place. So let's pop that there. Put the mouth back there, and then what we can do is just give that a tap, like so. Take one more out. If you've got your pokey tool, use that one. So now I've got the facial detail. I've then got what's going to be the nose. Now, if you've got our bright pink cardstock, you can of course use that as well. So let's just take all these little bits out, and then we're going to come along with these dies here. So these ones we're going to pop on. We're going to run these ones through. Now, I will, in a moment, as I say, bring the ones that I've already done a little bit of ink in, but I'd like you to see how all of these die cut and how these all build to form their character. So then we can take that one. Let's move our plates out of the way. So we've got the body, the head, and what's going to be the actual ears. So I'm then going to carefully prise that one out. Last but by no means least, let's take that one out, grab hold of it like that one, and then we can just move that one out of the way. So now that we've got all of our components all cut, ready to go. So let's bring in the ones that I have already done. So you'll see here I've got the browns, these ones within the tans. These are where I've gone around with a little bit of the Fryer Brown water reactive. Just adds that little bit of detail. You can leave the dies in place, or of course you can just completely remove the dies and then just add the whole layer of ink. So then let's take that back in. I don't need the face for this one because I've already got them. So I'm going to move that out the way. And then I've got my tacky glue, and we're going to go in with our foam pads. So let me just move these ones off onto my glass mat. We're going to start with the body. I think it's always a lot easier starting with the body, then going to the head, and then starting to make it all as one. So let's go in there. We're going to keep that one flat. So I'm going to then put my glue onto the back there, and then we're going to go in here. Now you can be following the guide, you could be following the pictures, the words, or of course this video. Now with its little feet, let's go on with our foam pads. Even giving you the foam pads within this edition of the Craft Club. We only need a couple, we don't need many at all. And then we're going to come in with this last one for now. So if I then just peel the backing off, and of course once you've used all of these foam pads, you could be using all your other Crafter's Companion foam pads. So if I then carefully take those ones, and then we're going to go just at a little bit of an angle. Let's come in here so it's kind of matching side by side, and then let's go in with the tail. So we only need just a teeny bit of glue on with the tail. That we can then start to press that in. We only need that to grab because we're going to start and work on the head. So now that that is then grabbed, let's bring this one in, and then we're going to add that one on with glue. So I think all of the remaining components now we will just add on with our glue. We're going to go in with the face, just going to lift that up. Let's then position that one in like so. Now before we add the features, let's go on with the ears. So I'm going to go side by side here, get them where we need them, and then I'm just going to hold down and then add a little bit of glue. I'm going to go in with my wax pickup tool because I find it easier to just use that one into the side there, and then we're going to do the same within this one there, and then we're just going to then press that one in. There we go. So we've got what's going to be the ears. Bring back in the face. Now I'm going to do the ears last. Let's go in with the face. I'm going to go in with the mouth, and then I'm going to go in with the nose. Go back to our wax pickup tool, and I'm just going to pick these ones up. So I just briefly and quickly pop them down, then I go back and I just nudge them into position to where I want them. I'm happy with that one there. And then let's go in with the eyes. So once again, I'm just going to kind of briefly just pop a little bit of glue and then pop them into place to start with, and then we can nudge them as to where we want them. So let's go in with the eyebrow there, press that in. If we need a little bit more glue, we can do that. Alternatively as well, if you've got your Stay Sticky pens, glue pens, you could be using them. Let's go in with this one. Let's pop that one on. Then I'm going to nudge them into place. So let's get the eyelids in, press that in, hold that in. Let's go in there. So we're just wanting to get them in so they look really, really cute. Don't want them angry, don't want them sad. There we go, let's press that in, nudge that one in, and then what we can do is we can add our ears. So I'm just going to then add a little bit of glue here and then here. So we can then tuck this one into place like so. So if we need to, we're just going to nudge that in, and then we're just going to then add that. So we're going to then pinch and we're going to hold. We're going to let that grab. And then what we can do if we need to, might need to add just a little bit more. So no harm in adding more than you actually need. I do prefer to hold the face towards me and pop the eyes or pop the ears to the back, because then I can visually see where the eyes are going rather than having it that way and sticking them on. You can try it whichever way that you want. You'll find your way of doing it. You might find a way that suits you. So let's just maneuver that one back in, lift up the monkey and press that in. So we're just going to then press to grab. So we're going to hold, let that hold. We need to add a little bit more. And then let's go in like so. Hold that in. I'm just going to make sure they're roughly parallel. They don't have to be exact, but we want to try and make them as close to the level as the other one. There we go. And then let's go in. I'm just going to add my glue to the top of the body, and then we can then even go in at a little bit of an angle. You can go straight on, you can go at an angle. We're going to go at an angle. We're going to press. We're going to let that hold. We're going to let that grab. And then there we go. We've got our cute little monkey that you can then, of course, add to your cards, add to your projects, add to your home decor, or you can just add it, of course, around the kiddie's bedroom. But there we go. If you follow the step-by-steps, you could be making a card like that. And that one's from our craft club. It's month number 21, and it's from the cute characters. Now, when it comes to Craft Club month number 21, it's all about the cute characters. What about making little tags for your cards and your projects, even your gifts? How super cute is that? I'm going to show you how you're going to make them. Now, what we're going to do to start with is we're going to bring in the booklet. So the lion, it's on number 21, and it's actually number 6 of all of the characters. 12 dies that you need are there on the bottom. So let's bring each of these in here. So we're going to be using some of the key ones that you'll have noticed we've been using previously, and then we're going to bring in a few additions. Now, I have got all of them cut ready, but we are still going to be cutting these ones to show you how they look. Now, let's go in. We've got that deep tan colour, we've got a lighter tan with a brown and a black. So let's go in with the body. So we're going to pop these on that deeper tan. We're going to go in, so the body, let's go in with a lighter tan. We're going to go in with the face, which is that lighter tan. You've got this little circle here. Now we're going to do that twice. That's for the ears. Then the mane, that's going to be the dark. We're going to go in with the body. That's going to be the dark. We've got the tail. That's going to be light. Then you've got the little fur that goes on the end of the tail. That's going to be dark. Then we're going to go in with the brown. We're going to go in with the black. Let's bring the feet in too. That's going to be going on the light. We're going to go in with the bottom of the mouth. We're going to go in with what's going to be like the little nose. And then we've got the face as well, which is going to be on the black. So let's tape all of these ones down here. So we're just going to tape them with our low tack tape. So we don't need much, just a few hold them into place. Of course, you've got all of this spare. So I'm going to then come in here. We're going to start to make as much use of our card as possible so we don't waste. And then we're just going to then finish off down at the bottom here with this last little bit. So let's bring in our plate. So I'm continuing to use the junior plate. So we're going to pop these in, and then I'm going to use the full plate configuration. Frosted, magnetic, and then top plate. So let's just then start to run that one through. Now, what I have already done is I've got some cut and I've just done a little bit of inking around the side. Totally optional, but sometimes it can just add that little bit of depth to it. So if we then take these ones out, so we've got the detail of the face, which can go there. We've got what's going to be the nose, so that can go there. And then we've got all of these bits as well. So if I just pop them to the side, so we can see in a moment how we start to build all of these up. Now remember that circle one, you would want to do that twice. So let's take that out. And then while we are cutting these ones, what I can then do is take just a little bit of that light tan there. We can go in, sit that in. Let's just tape that one down, holding it into place. Then that's going to be the two ears done and cut. So let's lift that up, align that together, and run that one through. So that will be all of the cuts done for you to then make your lion. So as we come out the end here with our G2, let's bring the plates. We've then got our second ear. We've then, of course, got the mane, we've got the center of the body, and what's going to be the end of the tail. So I'm going to then move all of these bits out the way for now, and then we can start to build. Now I have got all of these pre-cut, and where I've gone with the round the body here, round the head, in the feet, I've just gone in with some of our Sandstorm water reactive and done a little bit of blending. Now I have already done the face, but I'll show you how I've done that, and that's just by taking the head. We're going to then come along with the mouth, and then we're going to come along with the nose. There's the mouth there, and then this little bit here, what we're going to do, we're going to come in with our glue, and that actually sits nicely and slots just into the bottom there. So let's nudge that one in. So if we nudge it in and hold it into place, that's us now ready to start to build the face and all the facial features. So along here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to then add that nose. So that's just going to kind of overlap between the two. I'm going to bring in my little nudgy tool, and then we're going to then hold that. We're going to let that grab, and then we can of course bring in the ears, we can bring in the eyes, the mouth. So let's go in here. I'm going to go in with the mouth to start with, and then we can do the eye, and then the eye, and then we can come back, and then we can add the eyebrows. So I'm just going to use the pickup tool to pick the eyes up. I'm going to then set that in. Let's move that in. Thinking as well, imagine if you have things like the little googly eyes. That would be really, really fun, really, really quirky as well. So let's add a little bit of glue in for the actual eyebrows. I'm going to then pick that one up. So let's pick it up with a picky tool. Just going to make sure they're the right way. As you know by now, when you die cut, you do kind of have the right side. And it's not necessarily the wrong side, but it's not quite as neat as the right side. So let's pick that up. So let's just get that into place so we have it where we need. Now you can see within the one I've done originally, I've come a little bit further down. But this is where you're going to get a different facial feature depending on where you pop the eyes and then where you pop things such as the nose and the mouth. And then what we can also do then is if we bring in these little circles, which are these ones that have already added the little bit of the ink to, let's pop a little bit of glue here. And then I'm just going to then hold that one in there. Do you know something? It's like a little teddy bear as well. Could be used as a teddy bear. So I'm going to hold that down. Let's then bring in the other ear. and then let's add that bit of glue. Now I'm actually going to take that one and let's lift that up a bit so it's a little bit higher, and then we're going to press to let that grab. So once that's grabbed, that's going to be the facial features done. I'm just going to nudge that eyebrow back in. Now, of course, if you're using your tacky glue, don't worry, the glue dries clear. So let's move that bit out the way. I'm going to move these out the way and use the ones that I've got done. So let's take these, move these, and then we can then start to then build up that body. So let's go in with the body to start with, and I'm going to keep the center of the stomach or the tummy within that darker tan, and that's going to sit into here. So if I hold that one down, I'm going to then come along with my foam pads that you've got included as well, because we can add that on with the feet. So I'm going to turn them around. I'm going to bring in my little nudgy tool. If we bring that one in, then we're going to lift and press. You only need a couple. You don't need many whatsoever, because we just need it to be at the base. Turn that one around. I'm going to then peel these off so we can then bring the body back in. I'm going to go at a light little angle, and then you'll see I've just come to the edge of the lion's body. So I'm going to do the same within this one here. So let's pop that one into place here, and then there we go. We've got that bit of depth with the foam pads. Then what we can start to do is bring in the tail. So I'm going to add the tail on to start with. So this one we're going to come right down to the bottom. I'm going to have it sticking out quite far, holding to let that grab. And then right at the tip here, we're going to bring this one in, and this one is going to finish off the body. So let's press that in, let that grab. And then what we're going to do here is if I bring in what's going to be the mane, and then I'm going to pop that to the back. So this one, I'm going to pop it on to start with. So I'm going to add the glue that we can see into here. So if I pop that one, tell you what, let's add it to the back there. So that one is going to tuck here. We're going to press that in, because what's going to happen here, the face is going to cover that bit, so we're going to get more of that rounded face of the lion. I'm moving that down slightly, letting that grab, and then this one, what we're going to do, we're going to bring in the foam pads, and then let's start to add that on with some foam pads. So I'm going to add a couple at a time, because that can all get stuck onto the mane. So let's peel that off and peel these ones. And it's completely optional. If you want to keep it flat, you can absolutely do that. But we're then going to come, hold that one, get that where we want, press that in, and then all that you need to do is just punch a little hole, and that's then of course going to create your little tag for your presents. Maybe you want to then pop it onto something like your cards, or maybe you just want to have it hanging about that you can see within that one just here. So that is one of the projects that you can be making from Craft Club, month number 21, and it's all about the cute characters.